Welcome back, guys, to my channel. We're going to work on the truck behind me. It's got issues with the drive shaft. I'm going to show you what it's all about, and we'll go from there. Okay, first things first. We got to loosen up or take off. What I'm going to do is I'll probably take off this section of the drive shaft. It's the back half. I got to get at these bolts here, take them off. It's holding the universal joints. And it should just... This piece should just slip right out. Then we'll tackle the carrier bearing. And then we'll get these bolts off too over here. So let's get her done. Just turn the drive shaft so I have easier access to get at them with the impact. Well, I'm going to grab a bar and see if I can pry his back. I do have brand new universal joints and on the drive shaft. It's a tough one. Okay, guys, we got the back drive shaft off. Took some persuading, so here's the rear end part. It's laying right over there next to the new drive shaft. Now I'm going to do is I'm going to tackle these bolts over here. Get these zipped off. Let that drop. Then we'll get this one here. And this one over here on a carrier side. This is a pretty simple job. It's nothing difficult. Okay, that part's done. Head over to the carrier bearing. Just moving my camera around so you guys can see what I'm doing. I think I'm going to use my impact. I did move them up a little bit. Does help out. do anything with the right tools. Over here, we don't forget about it. Put it. Voila! Okay. My bar. Spin this thing a little bit. I do have it in neutral, so I can spin it. Most time I'd be very careful trying to drop these end caps, because once you lose a needle bearing, you got to put a new universal joint in there. It's not the easiest part of the thing, man. Guys, we have the new drive shafts here. I just laid them out so I can compare them, the lengths. So we'll put this one in. Here's the other one. It's a little different on this end over here. It still should work. The only difference is this yoke here is made longer than this one, this shaft over here. The main thing is pretty much the same length. Here's the other side. So let's get her done. A lot of times, guys, I check this end shaft on the transmission for like weird wear marks and stuff. I'll kind of clean it up with some brake clean here. I want to make sure everything's not dinged up or wobbled out before we put this all in. You want to make sure it's vibration free. Now let's get the carrier bearing on. I hope you guys can see the stuff. Now I'm going to go back and tighten everything up. A helpful tip when you're putting the drive shaft in and the yokes, make sure that this cap is inside this holder on both sides, because sometimes it might slip down and get caught on there. Then you'll start tightening it and you'll bend that cap, that universal joint. So everything looks real good up here. The cap's inside that thing where it holds it in. Like I said, we'll get this tightened up. Okay guys, there's some helpful tips here. When you get these two-piece drive shafts, they got arrows. And you get this other drive shaft line up, and actually this was marked good. It's actually splined, and these splines only go on one way. We'll go look at the other drive shaft. Here it is. See the arrow? Here's the arrow. And here is the other spot where it slides in. That's marked on the other drive shaft. And that's how it keeps it all balanced. They put these together and they balance them together. They just don't make one shaft, balance it. They try to balance it the whole assembly. So let's get her in. That worked out good. Now, let's pull this back a little bit. I'll move the camera over. We'll put the other drive shaft down on the rear end. These are all clean. Put dirt in them. Pull this back into the yoke. There we go. Caps back on. I'm going to turn it so I can see the other side. Okay guys, to get this thing on, you actually got to pull this sleeve off to expose the rubber, then push the rubber onto the shaft, and then the metal goes over the rubber. You just can't just push it on, I see. I should have made a video about it, but I'm kind of in a hurry, so guys, I got to start working on the fuel lines, so just the filter part, but yeah, this is pretty much a complete job here. It's all done now. Everything all torqued down. Front's done. The only thing now I'm going to work on is the filter now, but I won't film that part. But thanks for watching, guys.